So now I'm going to talk about some common expenses and deductions you can have in your investment property. Generally, and this is not an exhaustive list, a lot of things are deductible if it's an investment property. So I've gone through some of the more popular ones. So starting from the common ones, we have accounting fees, property taxes, mortgage interest, insurance, condo fees, any repairs you do. Travel is an important one. You can deduct travel expenses, but if for meals and lodging, that's considered personal. And for motor vehicle expenses, you are allowed to claim that if you have more than one rental property. Now, some of the things that you cannot claim, personal portion of your expenses. The government doesn't want to give you a deduction for something that's not involved in your business, and it's just for your personal purpose. Your principal payments for your mortgage are not deductible. Capital expenditures are also non-deductible, and we'll get into this in the next slide. So capital expenditures are more like large scale expenses. So like replacing a roof, doing major renovations, things like that. Those would not be directly fully deductible right away. And finally, land costs. Land is not deductible. So that gets us into my most math heavy slide, which is this one. Um, I'm going to talk about depreciation capital gain. So if you recall in the earlier slide, I said that you can't deduct large scale things like renovations and roofs because those are considered capital. So what this year considers capital is basically they have created their own rates and you are allowed to deduct it, but only at the rate that they allow you to deduct it. So, and this year calls this capital cost allowance. So I'll give you an example. So based on different types of assets, we have like appliances. So for example, the CRA has said that appliances can only be deducted 20% of its cost every year. So year one, you do 20% of that. Year two, you do another 20%, and so on. So if it costs you $5,000, you can only deduct $1,000 a year on your investment property. It's very important to keep track of your costs.